We're going to be doing a little capture of this view of an application. During that capture, I'm going to use Epic Pen to add annotations as I do the capture. Epic Pen can be displayed using Control-Shift-0. There's the UI, and I can command different tools like Control-Shift-R of Epic Pen. If I do that, it turns on a rectangle tool. Control-Shift-2 puts me back to cursor control, so on and so forth. I normally work with it hidden using Control-Shift-0, and then I just use shortcuts, which I know, to make it work. So what I'm going to do is, with the application having the focus, I'm going to start a capture using Recorder. Then I'm going to do my capture. This recorder is configured to send the new capture to a Camtasia project. And I'm going to load that project now. I'm going to use a template. So that's Alt-F, down arrow, boom. And we'll use this template to load our project. So every capture will go into this template project, and then I'll use Ripple Replace to get it into these placeholders down here on track 1. All these placeholders have been pre-configured with primarily effects like cursor effects that I want to see in the video, plus some other stuff. So we'll go back to the application, and again, Epic Pen will be used, except it's in ghost mode. You won't see that happening, but I'll explain what I'm doing as I go along, just so there's nothing lost in translation here. So the app has the focus. Control-Shift-R sets rectangle mode in Epic Pen. And now I'm ready to do my capture, and I'll just hit record here. This will be nutrition review for November the 23rd, 2025. Breakfast. We had a biscuit and sausage gravy. 625 total calories. Very high amount of fat in this breakfast at 47%. 19 grams of protein. Now I'm going to stop that capture using F10. I'm going to call it 01. And it's automatically going to go into that template when I save it. And there it is up here. So it'll be there when I want to do the Ripple Replace to all these placeholders. And each one of these little projects will typically have 5 specific captures. That's all. So some of these placeholders I'll delete, but there are always 5 captures to build out one of these little guys. And the captures, they always are the same type of captures done in the same way. Now, without going through any more captures here, we'll go back over to Camtasia. And I'm going to do a Ripple Replace into this first placeholder. So we'll select the capture we just made, right-click, Replace, Ripple. And it goes in there. And if I select it, go to Cursor Effects. Let's get this guy out of the way. You can see all the cursor effects are assigned that I use. I use a lot of them, but they make it look pretty good when you look at the video. Now, typically what I'll do is I'll edit this guy. And primarily, I'll cut out dead space here between this marker, which is set at 1 second, I think, in the beginning of narration. I'll do that and make any corrections. I do these all exactly the same way, so I'll be frank with you, it's very, very rare that I actually make any mistakes that need editing. But this little first step, which is to get rid of the lead-in dead spaces, often required a lot. So we'll do this, Control X, Control Home, and now I would typically play through this, listen to it, make any corrections. I would do that for all the remaining 4 captures that go into this. Then when I'm done with that, I would produce just this section as an MP4, and because I'm going to send it up to screencast.com. And when it gets up there, I have a pro account, and it's going to automatically generate a transcript of this narration. I'll use that transcript to eventually create a AI voiceover, and I'll do that in Windows 11 in Word using Windows 11's Read Aloud function. You'll see me do that. So let's make a selection here of that first section. Right-click, export selection as. I'll do a couple tabs, and I'll call this 1, and we'll go ahead and export that. I don't care about the marker. And I'll let this go up, and it'll do its thing. That's done. I'm going to use the Enter key to close that. I navigate to my Screencast account, and I would go Upload, Browse. There's the one we just made. Open. So it goes up and it's uploaded. I'll close that. So we got to give it a few seconds to get processed. This process, because these transcripts are going to be so short, the process of getting it ready for the transcript goes really quick. I mean, very quickly. It's probably already done for this guy. And by the way, let me just go ahead and minimize that. We don't need to be looking at that anymore. So let's see if this is ready. Yep, we got a transcript. You can see it. So we'll select, then I'll copy all of that to my clipboard, Control C, and navigate to a open instance of Notepad++. Paste it, Control V, Control Home. Now I'm going to use a couple of little macros in Notepad that I wrote. One is going to clean this up, and that'll remove the time hacks. So I'll run that to the end of the file. They're all gone. And I see I don't really need this F10 in here. The rest of it looks okay. Then I'll send the playhead back to the top. I have another little macro that's going to merge all this text into one paragraph. I have to run it a couple times. Then I give it to focus. Control A selects it. Control C copies the cleaned up transcript to my clipboard. I jump over to an open instance of Microsoft Word, Control V, Control Home, and you can read this, and this is what that transcript did. And by the way, the transcript that comes out of Screencast.com not only is very quick, it's extremely accurate. I mean, unlike Audiate, which picks up mistakes and puts them in the transcript and you have to take them out, this process ignores them to begin with, so you just get a clean transcript starting out. So I have Read Aloud already open here. If it's not open, you can use the shortcut Control Alt Spacebar will launch it. Let's go ahead and play that and see how it sounds.
This will be Nutrition Review for November 23rd, 2025. Breakfast. We had a biscuit and sausage gravy. 625 total calories. Very high amount of fat in this breakfast at 47%. 19 grams of protein. Now I'm gonna stop.
Okay, I don't really want this in my voiceover, so we'll delete that. Back home. Now I need to open up Recorder and reconfigure it. I don't want to capture anything except system audio. And so with Word having the focus again, so you can see Read Aloud's tools, I'm going to start this capture of system-only audio. And when I do, these will disappear, but I'll get them back by just touching the app again here, Word again. So there's F9, touch. Now I'll start the capture with this.
This will be Nutrition Review for November 23rd, 2025. Breakfast. We had a biscuit and sausage gravy. 625 total calories. Very high amount of fat in this breakfast at 47%. 19 grams of protein.
All right, that's done. I'll use F10 to end that capture. I'm going to call that capture 1 because it corresponds to original capture number 01, and I'll save that. That put it into the project. I'm going to minimize this so we don't see them. And now I'm going to make some space to work here. Send this playhead back home. I'm going to substantially increase the height of track 2. And I'm going to set track 2 magnetic on and track 1 magnetic on. This is the original capture with my narration. And we're going to put that voiceover clip on track 2. Okay, what I'm going to do now is add this voiceover clip we just captured to the timeline here. You can see that it's shorter than the other guy. And I'll fix that by putting the arrow here and dragging this like this until the start times overlap, like you see here. Now, I've got clip speed here. And what I'm going to do is, first of all, silence this audio, because I want this, not that, and use clip speed to drag this back to the left until it aligns with the new audio. There we go. And now I'll play it and see how it sounds.
This will be nutrition review for November 23rd, 2025. Breakfast. We had a biscuit and sausage gravy. 625 total calories. Very high amount of fat in this breakfast at 47%. 19 grams of protein.
Okay, that's how I got that one configured with AI voiceover, matching the old video with speed adjust to the new timing of the audio. And I would do that for the rest of the 4 remaining captures that would be in this series. After I finish that process, I would polish up the project and then I would produce it as an MP4 for usually hosting on YouTube. I'm going to mention that I have done the same thing, same general process, using Audiate to develop the AI voices. That process, it turns out, it's more tedious and it's more time consuming than the way I just demonstrated. Using the Notepad cleanup, the Windows Word, read aloud voiceover, and capturing that with recorder and system audio mode just goes much faster than the same process you can do in Audiate. I don't know why, it just does. More significantly is that the Audiate transcript you have to work with needs to be cleaned up before you send it back to Camtasia, where I seem to always get an almost virtually perfect transcript first time off of Screencast.com. So that's why I like this approach. I use it every day in multiple projects, screencasting this app, providing my clients with nutritional analysis of how they've been approaching their nutrition and weight goals.